Can he steer his side into what appeared to be an unlikely finals appearance? Mark Nichols. Here we go. The battle for 8th position begins. It's the Battle of Brisbane. And it's Payne Haas who's going to get the ball rolling. And look at this from the Dolphins. They drive Payne Haas back almost to his try line. That is an opening statement. Now comes across here for Ricky. The Dolphins were run over last week by Melbourne, but they did lose 2 players early to concussion. That certainly did not help their cause. But they've come off the blocks tonight. Jensen followed up by Haas again. And again, Haas dealt with Lemuelu, who's had his concussion issues, got up a little slowly. And he's back in the line now. Bit of brutality early as Walters onto Carrigan and the Broncos, with one of the better forward packs in the game, have barely cracked the 30-metre line. A wonderful opening from the Dolphins. Lemuelu clutching his ribs. Here are the Broncos on the last as Karapani puts in a kick. In behind Bostock, covering his Fuller. Look out, Fuller. Ooh, he takes a tumble. Well, the Dolphins here in good field position. Bostock, one of the Dolphins' most consistent players this year.
Yeah, very good defensive set there by the Dolphins. And Tavita Pangai out of the line quickly on Adam Reynolds, forced him to pass the ball, not kick it. And the grubber kick there from Jesse Arthur's late.
So Farnworth, the former Bronco, this is Lockie Hubner in just his 4th game. Penalty, high shot, penalty. Adam G, our referee tonight. And the Dolphins here will tap and go. Max Platt, we expect to see him revert to the number 13 role once Jeremy Marshall-King enters the game. Another player. Slightly unexpected that he's here tonight, but nothing being left a chance. Pangai Jr. gets into it with Haas. Look at it, eyeball to eyeball. It begins.
Listen, if you don't go for it, it doesn't happen. Keep your head away
Adam
from
G
each other.
trying to control them. And then a little head pat from Haas. That's not the last we're going to see from those two. And in fact, we might see something now because Pangai has to play it again. Nichols. People still finding their seats. Access not so easy on this busy night in Brisbane. As Carrigan drives Nichols back with the help of Haas. Pangai Jr. straight and hard. He bumps Walters away. That's the 10-metre line where he'll play it. Here it comes. O'Sullivan, Amarillo, chance, 6 more tackles. Farnworth, great scramble from the Broncos.
Oh, if he stops and catches and passes, Jermaine Osako scores the try. They created the space from the inside.
Amarillo, the 5'8". O'Sullivan, the halfback. And this is Hubner, the lock forward. Plath, the dummy half. Sends it out to O'Sullivan. Gets it on now to Fuller. Here's WI Fido in the centres. And again, good cover. Reynolds there, doing a lot of work. O'Sullivan turning it in. Pangai Jr. gets a chance his arm with an offload, and he's happy to take the tackle here. Still a couple left here for the Dolphins. It comes across now. Amarillo loves running. Dragged down. Broncos holding on. Last, Farnworth gets rid of it. Kofusi, Plath, left footer, chases on. Batted out the back by Staggs. Oh, what a start from the Dolphins.
Great kick from Max Platt there. Herbie Farnworth almost got it. Well, he did get it wrong. He went down the short side, but he was able to get a pass away, and Max Platt in the centre of the field gets the grubber kick in. Tony Staggs knocks it dead. Depending on what the Broncos do with their dropout, will we see a short one from Adam Reynolds? Staggs right wing. Karapani is right. Staggs right centre. Karapani right wing with Dean Mariner not there tonight.
Well, that's gone up a long way. That gives the Chasers a chance. Through the hands of Azarko, and they've made a mess of it, the Dolphins. And now Rogers almost skips away. So the Broncos get the ball back. Fast and furious start here.
That is heartbreaking when you do all the work, you get the ball in goal, and then a short drop out, you don't handle it, and you turn possession over, and you give up that chance to really put some pressure on.
So now it's Carrigan down the middle here. And Brisbane were mauled the first time they had it. But they're making more metres on this occasion as Reynolds turns it in. Ricky Can't get through O'Sullivan. Good work from him with the help of Lemuelu. Seems to have recovered. The high one here from Reynolds, 20 metres out. And it's in no man's land for the Dolphins, but Hubner comes in to take it. Now we can take you downstairs to Jake Duke.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. A frantic start on what feels like more like a summer evening than a winter evening here on the sideline for the Battle of Brisbane. Still about 30 degrees. Luckily, a slight breeze has cooled things off a little bit. The Dolphins, they are the home side. They make a strong run there through Jack Bostock, trying to turn around their struggling form. They've conceded 150 points over their past 4 games. While the Broncos, they are searching for 3 wins on the trot. There's already plenty of feeling in this one in what is in front of a massive and energetic crowd.
Indeed, thank you, Jake. As Pangai Jr., the decoy, Nichols carrying it forward. Last call here. O'Sullivan down the left. The chip kick here. Bostock and the hammer coming through. The bounce. Sailor, courageous. Now the ball bounced, so he was fair game. And taking him mid-air was no problem. Now Brisbane again have to roll their sleeves up, and this will help in a big way.
Yeah, that's disappointing for the Dolphins after the chip. He tried to split the difference between Tristan Sailor and the defensive line. The bounce didn't favour them.
Dangerous position.
There we go. Just a quick explanation there for Tristan Sailor to say that the ball had bounced, so you're allowed to be tackled.
I mean, unless the tackle is deemed dangerous on its own merits, that's a different story, but Brisbane get a penalty of play later anyway. But yes, the rules do change once that ball bounces. Here come the Broncos over halfway. The story of this game, winner in the 8, remarkably. Loser, probably gone. Not quite done, but would need something quite miraculous. This is sudden death, live on Fox League. Here's Rogers. Loves to get that left footstep working. Back it comes from Walters, away to Carrigan. Reynolds calling runners inside, but it was a ruse as he gives it under Sailor. Sweeping defence from the pair.
Well, he recovered quickly there, Hamaso, very quickly and needed to on Tristan Sailor.
O'Sullivan there as well. A tidy tackle in the end. Carrigan. Back to Haas. Haas flick pass. Walters. Almost split them. He split them in the first game. Not quite there. Carrigan out of dummy half. On it goes to Reynolds. Rushing up is Kofusi on the last tackle. That's a great play from a veteran.
Well, if he gets on the outside of Felipe Kofusi there, I think Adam Reynolds creates something that just might have seen Brisbane score their first try. That was a great tackle, and a tackle that needed to be made by Kofusi.
So the Broncos appear to have handled the opening well enough from the Dolphins, who flew off the blocks. Now it's just settled in here. There's the first of the Pangai Jr. offloads. As he finds Farnworth. And Farnworth made to play it. And he's walked off the mark. So that'll slow things a little more. So many former Broncos here. Farnworth, Pangai Jr. Azarko is another. Now Fuller. He's looked sharp. Good Queensland Cup form. Last 3 weeks, 3 tries, 3 try assists. That's right on the 40 here from O'Sullivan, but down the middle, making it a pretty easy one for Sailor. Now back for Karapani in his 8th game of first grade.
Surrender! Stand!
It's the Battle of Brisbane, the 4th edition. This is Jesse Arthurs. Rogers. Cobbo has owned the Dolphins in a couple of these contests. Sailor. They're doing this, of course, without Walsh and without Mam, but they do have Haas, who is running off the hip of Walters. Walters goes himself, and this will be the last now. Reynolds, all the time in the world to set himself. Not a great deal of distance on that. Staggs gets a crack at it, but beautifully positioned, Connolly Lemuelu.
Well, certainly not the strike that Adam Reynolds was looking for. Ball just went across field, didn't have any depth on it really, and the Dolphins now on play 2, just short of halfway.
W.I. Fido did end last year, having played a few games in the centres. So not unfamiliar this situation.
He's an origin centre as well.
Not a bad one either. Hubner, busy early. O'Sullivan under Fuller. Fuller looking for work. He's been given a roving commission, it seems. 35 away. The high one could be tricky for Sailor because Bostock got there first and parried it forward. And that ends that.
10 by 10, guys. Lock on.
Just to reiterate what Jake was saying, it has been scorching here in Brisbane today. Not so warm in the middle. The sun really left the arena at about 3 o'clock, so it has cooled down, but it doesn't mean it's winter-like here. Not by a long shot. It's still winter. Official 35 degrees it got to today. Comes out for a man who was part of the Queensland extended squad this year and seems destined for bigger things. Brendan Piakura. Sailor was outstanding against Parramatta in the Broncos last game. Now comes to Haas. And the offload. Walters getting it on. Reynolds showing it, turning it in. Staggs. Lemuelu doing enough. Now that's a kick off the belly here that's got some wobble on it. Fuller. Oh, great tackle. He does well. He didn't look comfortable, but he got the job done. And he got away from Sailor. Oh, Jensen with a big tackle. There was a bit of space down the middle. If Jensen did not make that one-on-one tackle.
He is very exciting, isn't he? Trey Fuller back in the side.
Thunworth.
Well, he's got no winger to work with.
Still, what about the strength of Thunworth to just shake off Cobbo like that? Here comes back in. Engai Jr. falling on his front. Platt the dummy half. Long pass to Tabuai Fido. He likes what he sees. But Staggs comes across with the help of Karapani. Another good set for the Dolphins. Can they finish it off? O'Sullivan allowed to run to the line. Contest coming. Oh, no contest. No contest when Cobbo gets up there. And Brisbane start once again from inside their 10. It's tense here in Brisbane. Piakura. Brisbane, of course, play Melbourne on Thursday, so even if they win tonight, their task is not easy. The Dolphins play Newcastle in the last game of the regular season. That could be a very special afternoon. Now it's dropped back by Staggs.
He's going to say
knock on. So Karapani falling on the ball, but the knock-on call. Dolphins scrum 40 away.
Yeah, Tristan Sailor just skirting around the Dolphins defensive line there and almost created, well, did a dangerous situation, but it gave that man a one-on-one. Jack Boxstock got involved. He has been devastating. Tony Staggs on that right side a couple of weeks ago was just outstanding.
Kevin Walters, he did say they would make finals. Now it's theirs for the taking. Scrum play here. Everyone on the right of it. Comes from O'Sullivan to Avarillo. Almost crashing through was Farnworth. He did well to hold on to it too, with Cobbo there first and Rogers there second. O'Sullivan for Engai Jr. Sharp play the ball. Nichols helps himself. Plenty of metres here, closing in on the 10-metre line. The game waits for its first try. Now it's Hutner, out to O'Sullivan. This is nice. The hammer, Bostock. Excellent defence. They always had that covered, the Broncos. Karapani. A couple of tackles left as it comes slowly. To Platt. Long for Nichols. Here's Avarillo. Now Farnworth. Farnworth holds it. Isako for the corner. Yes! Isako scores! The first try belongs to the Dolphins, and it's the former Bronco, Jermaine Isako, and the Dolphins, they pay off what has been an outstanding start.
Yeah, big shift to the left, and then the whole team got involved in a shift that went across from one side of the field to the other, and Jermaine Isako scoring in the corner after the work from Herbie Farnworth, just holding up those outside defenders, play the ball in the left corner. The whole team involved in this, whether they're a decoy or passing the ball, and then Herbie takes off, just gives Isako enough space on the outside of both Cobbo and Jesse Arthurs. Cobbo at left centre tonight with no Dean Mariner, Jesse Arthurs partnering him on the wing, and Isako who is in the race for the top point scorer, scores the first try of the night.
He's got some work to do because Val Holmes had a good night on Thursday. That this is the start you fancy they had to have the Dolphins. They came out firing. Now they get their try. Farnworth's delayed pass.
Yeah, just double pump, just enough to hold Jesse Arthurs up momentarily, and that's all it took to allow Asako to get across the line. Probably had a chance earlier in the game, but what they have done, the Dolphins, is complete. They've been able to get through their sets, not make any errors, keep the pressure on the Broncos. They defended the set on their own line earlier. But they've started the game the better of the two. 15 minutes in, Asako with a chance to make it 6-0.
He's made 30 of his last 31, Jermaine Asako. He's in tip-top form, and he's got it. Converts his own try. Dolphins 6, Brisbane 0. Jake Duke, down to you.
The Dolphins moving the ball very early. That will please their coach, Wayne Bennett. That play finished off by Jermaine Asako, the former Bronco, who has been so consistent and durable for the Dolphins. He's actually played in every single one of the club's games. He hasn't missed one since their debut in round 1 of last season. He's only missed actually 12 minutes of game time in that period as well. Incredible record. He's been an incredible player for the Dolphins. He gets a try there, his 12th of the season. And we'll keep an eye on this ladder all evening because right now the Dolphins are sitting inside the top 8.
It would be some story if they could make it in their second season. Thank you, Jake. It's a long way from happening,
particularly off the back of what's happened to them at the back end. They've won 2 from 9. They're coming off their worst loss of the season. But
Pangai, he went for the pass. Now that might have come off the Broncos.
Off Dolphins, yeah. Okay.
Knock
so
on
after
Dolphins.
the initial offload, we've got a knock on Dolphins. That's a ruling. Challenge?
Now the Broncos here, certainly seemed to be a hand there, but did they knock it back?
On-field ruling. Dolphins are knock on
Gee,
after
it's a big
offload.
mistake if they don't get this overturned
and
because the Broncos 20 metres out.
And it'll be their first mistake, and what they don't want off the back of points. Oh, that's a risky pass.
So that's Walters.
It's initially not passed backwards and then knocked backwards again by Billy Walters. Just seeing if it then comes off Tavita Pangai Jr. after Billy Walters.
So, okay, so they're saying Walters backwards and Pangai backwards.
Pangai backwards. Walters.
Yeah.
Tavita Pangai Jr. then touches the ball again, dragging it forward towards the opponent's dead ball line.
Challenge gone.
The challenge is
That's a
unsuccessful.
killer there early. That's a momentum changer.
Yeah, that's a risky pass. Risky pass. Play one.
Go line, boys.
You crash into 3 Broncos defenders. You try and slip one out the back. It should not have been even contemplated.
We satisfied Walters' part was backwards the whole way. I know he was facing that way.
No, I'm not satisfied with any of that. That's a tough one, I reckon.
I think
that is
it's
a tough
unsatisfying. It should never have been challenged. But Broncos.
he opted to throw the pass and create that situation.
3 on each side here. Saylor is going to pack in at the back of the scrum. What's his move going to be? He breaks to the right. Little out the back play. Now Saylor with the tap. Dolphins ready though. Karapani wrapped up. Reynolds down. Reynolds down on the ground. Reynolds just watches this whistle past him, favouring a left arm. We'll keep an eye on that. As the Broncos go on the attack, their first real chance to sustain some pressure here with Haas wrapped up on tackle 3. Walters out to Reynolds. Got hit after he fired at the Stags. Violent footwork, but well handled. Tabuai Fido, his opposite number with the tackle. 6 more though. Brisbane pouring on the pressure. Jensen with a settler. 11 metres out, centre field. Walters goes himself. He had Nichols beaten, but not Plath. Past the decoy. Oh, Reynolds, it was a hospital pass that came to him, and then he puts it down. The Dolphins are making a concerted effort to race up and bury Adam Reynolds every time he gets his hands on it.
That is great defence there from the Dolphins. Up quick was Felice Kafusi, and the pass was just in front. It was a wobbly one as well. Just took his eyes off the ball, ready for contact. just out in front of him.
Now, let's look at the contact here.
Payne.
I think as he passed the ball, the collision happened in real time.
Now, see, that is super slow motion.
Yeah.
To suggest, if they're looking at the lateness, that they'll be looking at where contact was made. Reynolds has been in trouble.
Chest on shoulder.
That was his shoulder that was hurting moments ago.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything to do with this. I don't think, here's it in real time. You don't pull out of that. You don't stop. You sprint off your line to defend your line. You don't pull out of that.
Wasn't that man Corfusi expected? He's got to expect Reynolds is going to catch him.
Ring police.
Come on.
Get ready to blow up.
Come on.
Here he comes. The sniper is about to be marched, it seems.
It's obviously been reviewed. Okay, we've got direct contact, shoulder to the head. No mitigation. It's on report. It's in the bin.
Second sin bin this year for Felice Corfusi. They say they saw contact with the head.
Really? Is that right?
Some will wonder if the name is a factor and the reputation, but the bunker says they, well, hello, words, Reynolds, Corfusi.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Okay, Dolphins down to 12.
So they were blown apart by Melbourne last week, 16-0, when that man Corfusi was sent to the bin. And Adam Reynolds continues to have his say. The Broncos, what can they do here? Moser, an early entrance. Piakura puts it down, and they stand here at Suncorp. And now we'll bring it back here, but it is a Brisbane knock-on.
Bit of poetic justice there, I think. They've still got 9.5 minutes to do it without Felice Corfusi. The short ball to Piakura, tough one, and hit as he was trying to catch it. That's all legal. Jake Averillo around the legs. Herbie Farnworth over the top. And the Dolphins survive their first test with 12 men.
We haven't seen a Dolphin side with this sort of bite for quite some time. And a perfect result to start their time with a man in the bin. Brisbane doing precious little, and the Dolphins getting the ball back and a bit of time coming off that clock. So the try scored by Jermaine Azaka. 6 points to 0. Facial work there, and Haas has been penalised. It's getting a little edgy here, a little nasty. That wasn't particularly vicious from Haas, but would not let his man play it.
Yeah, and you don't often see that from Payne Haas. Very disciplined player, but a bit of frustration there. Lamuelu getting the better of him.
Haas grabbing hold of Lamuelu's head like it was the top of a Great Northern. So, from halfway, and down a man. Dolphins, this is all working out very nicely. Jake Duke, you've got some news.
Adam Reynolds is a Category 2 HIA guy, so he will have the chance to pass the assessment. But interesting to note, if he does fail, the Broncos will be able to activate their 18th man because it was foul play and Felice Corfusi was binned.
That's right, Corey Oates, so certainly not like for like. Unless they'll be sweating on Adam Reynolds passing that concussion test. Here's Lemuelu. Now Pangai Jr. What's his game plan here? We butchered his last attempt at offload, so just happy to punch it forward. Last, 10 away. O'Sullivan, the hammer, gets it on. Beautiful from the Dolphins. It's Averillo who goes over, and a man down. The hammer makes his mark in the Battle of Brisbane.
What a reply there from the Dolphins after Felice Corfusi was given 10 minutes. They worked their way upfield after a penalty went their way. Payne Haas penalised for overzealous in the tackle, and then Hammer sweeping from the left to right. Gets an arm free as he breaks through that Brisbane defensive line. Beautiful set play there. And just as Tristan Saylor comes in to shut it down, the hammer gets the pass away to Jake Averillo. What a moment for the Dolphins fans here at Suncorp Stadium. Brilliant set play.
Wow.
Sean O'Sullivan squaring up those inside defenders. The hammer, just enough acceleration to get past Rogers and get his arm free. Terrific ball there to Jake Averillo.
Game 100 for Jake Averillo. Obviously, most of those at the Bulldogs in the 5-8 role tonight. Nice try-scoring streak he's putting together as well. But the Dolphins, a try with a man in the bin. About, what, 3 minutes into Kaufusi's time in the sin bin. And it's about to be 12-0.
What a great period for the Dolphins. Down a man, and I think tough. I think tough to go to the bin on what happened there between Adam Reynolds and Felice Kaufusi. They get a penalty, and that man penalised Payne Haas. They find touch halfway, and at the back end of their set, they score this try. Beautifully run play. Sean O'Sullivan doing a great job squaring up those inside defenders, keeping them nice and tight, and just giving that man, the hammer, all the space he required, which wasn't much. Just some acceleration coming from the left to right and linking with Jake Averillo. Beautiful pass. 12-0 Dolphins, and deserved.
Just gorgeous watching the hammer insert himself into proceedings and creating the extra man. Here's Mark Nichols. Brisbane have got a problem here. Down by 12. Being outworked right now. Junior, his first stint comes to an end. Craig Fuller. Sprightly start to the afternoon for him. Herbie Farnworth down the middle. Tough to put down. And gets the offload away. That there was Nichols. So only midway through the Kaufusi sin bin period. Nuelu. Slow start of the season. Had a torn MCL. But has been in that second row position ever since he came back. No pressure. Brisbane finally get the ball back. They haven't had it in the sin bin period since they made a meal of it a couple of plays in.
Yeah, certainly helps scoring that try, doesn't it? The Dolphins just keeping the ball away from the Broncos. Quick play the ball. The Dolphins going backwards. There could be some space here.
And now threatening and going through. It's Jesse Arthurs. He's got O'Sullivan in pursuit. That ball was early. Cobbo work to do. Cobbo down. Gets up. He's going to be dragged to the ground again. 9 away, the Broncos. Slow play the ball. Rogers out to Moser. Moser to a flat-footed Haas. Haas with the flick to Saylor. It's all sideways stuff. Saylor, oh, tipped over dangerously. That's a problem. That is a problem.
I've got minimum report.
Minimum report. But the bunker is going to have a fair bit to say about this.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Here's Saylor.
Well,
certainly beyond the horizontal.
And the fact that Connolly Lemuelu grabbed him by the shoulders and pulled him backwards certainly didn't help the Hammers' case.
And that's all that will be.
Yeah.
No damage done. So we continue with the Broncos. Moser at dummy half. Xavier Willison. And Marshall King in the game. Boy, he was up there quickly too to make the tackle. Great to see Marshall King back. He's missed 9 weeks. Moser goes to the right now to Walters. Saylor's quick hands. Staggs, great desperation. Bostock who came in. He came in a mile to make that tackle. 6 more tackles. It's Saylor now getting it on to Haas. And Haas shaking off 2 of them. And slipping the pass. It's an offload-a-thon here. Moser is well contained. Willison down the middle this time, taking Fuller with him. And almost wheelbarrowed his way to the line. Crash play, Carrigan over. Carrigan's in, Broncos hit back. And they do it through sheer brutality. Through the front door, Patrick Carrigan.
Well, Xavier Willison tried it and almost got to the line. He ran straight at Trey Fuller, who was standing in the defensive line right next to the ruck. Here's the run from Jesse Arthurs that got them in this position through the tackle of Hubner. And if you don't hit him with everything, you've got Jesse Arthurs. He can often do this. Breaks the line, links with Cobbo. The Dolphins came from everywhere to stop Cobbo. Look at them, 3-4. Set restart during the set, made it tough for the Dolphins, and then Patrick Carrigan finds the smallest man on the field in the line. He makes a low tackle and falls over into the try line.
Boy, they needed that. They needed to get something out of this sin bin period. And all they've done once this kick goes through is broken even while Kaufusi's been off. But they reduced the gap from 12 points to 6 once Staggs puts this through, which he does. It's Dolphins 12, Broncos 6.
Pat Carrigan, he doesn't score many tries. Kevy Walters watching on, looking a bit nervous. That's his second try of the season. Pat Carrigan, just the 4th of his career, but he tries his guts out every week for this Broncos side. One of their best players, no matter the result. He averages 142 metres, 32 tackles, and plays 72 minutes per game. He also has the most run meters for any lock forward in the competition so far this year. Gets a great reward there for a try and gets the Brisbane Broncos rolling in this game.
They started slowly against Parramatta, so it's not as if they're not used to this sort of scenario. Mark Nichols off, plenty of changes. Kenny Bromwich into the game, Ray Stone as well. We've seen Marshall King, Willison and Moser for Brisbane. Moser's been on for a little while. Here we go. Broncos already 6 offloads. Only had double digits in that department 3 times all year, so way up on normal as they try and keep the ball alive.
Payne Haas with 5 of them there.
Now Willison. Yeah, they can't stop him passing, the big Buffalo. Moser dummy half. So getting seemingly set for a lot more game time than he usually gets as Kaufusi watches on. This may be the final set they have to endure. Short side play, not fooling the Dolphins as Rogers will go to ground. Cronulla Warriors is the game coming up after this. Sean Johnson's farewell. The Sharks looking to lock in some things there. In the last, it's Walters. Up in the halves now. The deep one. Bostock, untroubled. Bostock winding up. And Moser and Haas with Willison. And that's all fine. And dragged him back nearly 10 metres, Bostock. We saw a lot of Fuller early, not so much in the last 10-15 minutes. As Kaufusi prepares to re-enter the game. There he is. There he is. Trey Fuller almost broke completely away. Then he went one step too far and threw the pass into traffic. Now Willison brings it back for the Broncos.
And did all the good work there, Trey Fuller. That is the run that I think so special. Gutsy, right up the centre, but threw the pass when it didn't need to be thrown.
You just knew he was about to do something. It had just been too long since we saw the man in 20. Now the Broncos, what a chance. Willison. He's made a good impression since coming on. 13 on 13. And the Dolphins fans love their number 11. Rogers holding. Cobbo knocked out or knocked over there by Farnworth. No drama though. There's Moser. Away to Haas. No thought of an offload. Looking for the quick play of the ball as Marshall King wraps him up. 10 metres out. Moser. The stab into traffic. It bounces there. Of Fuller into Kenny Bromwich, then the audacious flick, and Farnworth threatens, gets it on, and Azarko puts it down. Well, this is adventurous from the Dolphins, and now the Broncos back on the attack.
And that was Josh Rogers coming across in cover there. The tackle needed to be made. Azarko could have gone the length of the field after the work from Herbie Farnworth. Brisbane error into a Dolphins error, and now the Broncos back with the ball in great position.
Staggs, who's had his big moments in these contests, almost to the 20. Carrigan, the try scorer, distributing. Brisbane trying to dominate up front here with Willison now playing it. Back for Carrigan. Haas the decoy. Walters gets it on. Ricky drops it. Now, look out. It's a hammer. He's away. He's gone. It's Sailor coming. But the hammer, he won't be caught. Goodbye. Hamiso. Tabuai. Fido. And the Dolphins get their third. He is such an elegant runner. He was never going to be run down by Tristan Sailor. Oh, what a moment.
Yeah, what a great moment here at Suncorp Stadium. The Dolphins fans out of their seats. Another error from the Broncos on the attack. That's the third in the space of a couple of minutes. The Broncos turn over. The Dolphins almost opened them up with Asako. Only a couple of plays before, they drop the ball and the hammer goes the length of the field. Ricky spills the pass, just running the wrong line. Hamiso Tabuai Fido picks up the bouncing ball and is already smiling. He knows
this is not fair, though. He was toying with Sailor. Sailor is giving it everything. That meant the hammer looking at the screen in second gear, and then just stepped it up ever so slightly just to make sure. Oh, that's a special Battle of Brisbane moment. His 13th try this year. Boy, this crowd goes crazy when the hammer gets in the clear.
Well, he's arguably the most exciting player in the club. I think if you ask fans from other clubs, other teams, who do they like watching? Hamiso gets mentioned just about every time.
So Broncos have had such a good period, but it's now the Dolphins 18-6 leaders.
Hamiso Tabuai Fido, that's try 49 of his career, and what an important one for the Dolphins, considering that he's their starting fullback. He moved to the centres here tonight. Wayne Bennett said he took the news really well. He knew that it's all about putting the team first to get in position and get Trey Fuller into the side. And good news for the Broncos. They did concede that try, but Adam Reynolds has passed his HIA. We're seeing this hit here. That was the hit that put Felice Kafusi in the bin. Reynolds passed his HIA, due to return to this game very soon.
Thank you, Jake. And he's on the field already. So Adam Reynolds is back. Now, heavy contact, and that's a problem. Willison got up there on Stone. This could be a problem.
Well,
now the question, did Stone drop into him? I guess we'll soon find out. Or did Willison get up there?
well, it's very hard when you're 6'6" like Xavier Willison is. If you don't bend your back, well, you're going to run into someone. Big hit.
Certainly point of the shoulder into the head. That's the sort of tackle that does get the bunker's attention.
Xavier, yeah?
He's gone.
Xavier.
He's gone, Xavier. It's about to be 13 on 12, Dolphins way.
He's trying to fall and roll. I know he's going to headbutt. He can't get
You just answered it on report in the bin.
Just the fourth sin bin for the Broncos this year. This now, these 9 minutes could just blow this game apart.
Let's see if the Broncos can handle it as well as the Dolphins did with 12 men, because the Dolphins were outstanding. Boy, he ran hard. You just can't run into anyone anymore like that. He just didn't bend his back. He's 6'6". You've got to bend your back to make a tackle these days. Otherwise, you make contact with the head.
Dolphins, priceless opportunity here, already 12 in front. There's Kenny Bromwich, maybe just to go one out. This could be manna from heaven for the likes of Fuller and Tabuai Fido. Platt again working it down the middle, patient stuff. 3 tackles in, happy to set it up. Marshall King. O'Sullivan nice and straight. Fuller got on the outside of Staggs. Second wave brings Fuller down.
Well done, Karapani there.
They continue to work this left. Lemuelu hits a nice line and gets over the 20. Haas down low. Last tackle. O'Sullivan for the contest. Farnworth. Oh, he bumped off it there and then he tipped over in spectacular fashion. Broncos come away with it.
Yeah, a couple of kicks that Sean O'Sullivan has put, the crossfield kicks, they just haven't had the depth on them. They need to go near the try line, not on the 10-metre line. They need to be closer to the try line than what they have been.
Sailor. Talked about these conditions not being as bad as they could have been, but they are still testing. And you'd still imagine they're going to take their toll, perhaps now, late in the first half and certainly late in the second half. Carrigan, nothing seems to stop him, though. And the Broncos get through this set. Reynolds for Fuller. And now Fuller. What's he seen here? Well, he's seen Tony Staggs with him across the chest.
Yeah, that's what the Broncos needed to do, down to 12 men, get through this set and get a kick away. Deeper might have been better for them, but now they'll defend and try and keep the Dolphins this side of halfway.
Marshall King, how dearly they have missed him. Now it's Plath in his usual role as a running, bullocking forward. Averillo, the 5'8". Farnworth steaming onto it and crashing through. Farnworth away, holding it up for Averillo. Oh, it's a clinic. It's a Dolphin clinic. Averillo scores. Number 2. Herbie, brilliant. Dolphins on fire.
Well, he's a powerful runner, Herbie Farnworth. They got him back on the inside there and set him one-on-one with one of the Brisbane defenders. He just busted through that tackle and set up Jake Averillo, who was very quick to react. Just watch the play here back on the inside. That's a bad one-on-one miss there. And Herbie Farnworth does enough to just drag Tristan Sailor towards him and throw the pass for Jake Averillo. Too easy from Herbie Farnworth. Not enough numbers there.
So the Dolphins really...
Blake Moser, the man that missed the tackle. Coming across from the inside, had no help. But you need to be making those tackles one-on-one when required, and Blake Moser fails.
The 22-6. Second set with the extra man, and again, they did nothing extravagant, the Dolphins. And they found their way through. This really is extraordinary. What we saw last week in this time slot down in Melbourne, it really seemed like the Dolphins had run out of puff. But the old master has done it again, it seems.
Well, I'll go back to their round 15 win, and I remember Craig Fitzgibbon was interviewed before the game, and they said, how, you know, the Dolphins haven't been travelling that well. They're away from home. He said, Wayne just has the ability to get a team up when no one expects it.
You just knew when you saw all these changes that Wayne had a plan. There was something cooking. They're not there yet, but they're flying. And right now, they are in the top 8. And their lead expands 24-6.
Herbie Farnworth playing against his former club, the Broncos, for the first time. He missed the Battle of Brisbane in round 6 with an AC joint injury. Must be enjoying it out there. Sets that one up for Jake Averillo. And don't forget, obviously, we've got the finals coming up. But then after that, the Pacific Championships. The biggest sporting event is back for 2024. The best men and women players from the 7 island nations competing for glory and pride on Friday, the 18th of October. It's the Jillaroos taking on PNG before the Kangaroos battle it out against Tonga here at Suncorp Stadium. Tickets from nrl.com/tickets. Don't want to miss that.
That's it.
How good. Rugby league just doesn't stop.
No. And it was a great tournament last year. New Zealand, a thumping win over Australia in the final. Well, that's come out. Not lost, though. Brisbane have got 45 minutes, the Broncos, to save their season. The Dolphins in pole position. And that was per court slipping off Platt, but Carrigan was there along with Haas. There's a run from Pavusi. Again, pretty steady stuff from the Dolphins. The meters are flowing. Marshall King to O'Sullivan. Out it comes to Kenny Bromwich. O'Sullivan, the high one. Contest. Bostock tapped it back. Fuller comes up with it. Fuller's close. Fuller's almost there. That's off a Bronco. It's 6 more tackles. Now it comes away to Moser, but it's a Broncos knock on.
Oh, they're going to keep the ball, the Dolphins. They can't shut it down, Brisbane.
Just a reminder, Dragons lost. Winner of this in the 8. They'll be in the 8 tonight, and they'll be in the 8 by the end of the weekend. Dolphins, this is a golden opportunity to bury the Broncos.
Oh, this is so big for the Broncos, this little period before the break. Tony Staggs, that's not good. Staggs leaving the field.
Boy, they need game breakers right now. They don't need that. They need to hold on here. Farnworth, remember they've got an extra man. Farnworth almost does it on his own. They left Cobbo on the deck. Then to clean it up was Piakura and Arthurs. This is just extraordinary. The crowd senses another is on the horizon. Marshall King, just outside the 10. O'Sullivan turns it in. Nichols happy to work it forward. The patience from the Dolphins. Six more tackles. Hammer and Fuller are on the left. Marshall King weaving. Crafty. Penny Bromwich will take the tackle. That left side opens up ever so slightly. Marshall King gets it onto Platt. Now it comes to Avarillo. Here they come. Fuller to Bostock. Broncos hold on. Desperate tackle by Karapani. Now back here for Platt. Oh, Rogers was in no man's land, but Bromwich couldn't go through. Marshall King. Nichols down the middle. 3 metres from the try line. The Dolphins looking for 5 in the first half. Marshall King fires it out. Subtlety, and not so subtle that from the hammer over the head of Bostock. That would have been the try assist of the season.
Well, they did look short down that side, the Broncos, and the Dolphins just couldn't make the most of it. Just couldn't find the man in space. Trey Fuller
following the ball,
and the hammer. Well,
see it.
that required a miracle.
I thought you were stuck.
Well, I'll tell you what, if he got it to Bostock, there was enough space.
Adam,
he scored.
He would have scored easily.
Yeah, he scores.
So what have we got here as we look at the ladder?
Brandon Piakura getting attention.
So they've got Staggs already injured. Dolphins would control their destiny. They play Newcastle next week. Newcastle, of course, play Gold Coast tomorrow. What a game that could be. Newcastle get past the Titans. 4 o'clock next Sunday. It would be for 8th spot. Jake Duke, down to you.
Being told Tony Staggs is a groin injury. He'll be assessed at halftime. We'll know more.
Thank you very much.
Piakura leaving the field as well.
So this is just going from bad to worse for the Broncos.
Let's go, Adam. Let's go, mate. You got the ball. Let's go.
It's still one man down. Xavier Willison in the Cindy. Tupou. Provide a spark, Tupou. Nose up. Dolphins had lost 5 of their last 6 coming in. It's a total turnaround. And this is Carrigan. Ooh. Taken down there. Didn't get away from the Dolphins that tackle. Punching run from Jensen. As Reynolds puts it up and Saylor is at full throttle trying to make Fuller work. He does make Fuller work, but Fuller comes up with it. And just hanging on is Ricky. Otherwise, Fuller fancied his chances.
Under assault there, wasn't he, Trey Fuller? A couple of Broncos coming through. Tristan Saylor, one of them, but the Dolphins fullback good enough. Asako, dummy and almost getting through. Beats the tackle of Cobbo.
Farnworth shakes them off. What a game he's putting together. And now knock on.
You go forward.
So the
every
Broncos
time.
will want to rush here. Haas is already sprinting towards where the scrum would be.
They're going to get a couple of plays, the Broncos.
And time's still ticking here. They've wasted a few seconds. Time still ticking. And now they'll get 2 shots at it.
Let's go. Let's go. Shot clock. In. Let's go.
And they go into the halftime break with something here, the Broncos, to get excited about. Season is teetering on the brink. As Rogers out to Ricky, and that was laborious, so it'll leave them most likely just the one play. Oof. Jensen. Well, that just encapsulates the difference between the two sides. And that ends the first half. They're standing here at Suncorp. A word we overuse in rugby league is ambush. This, my friends, has been an old-fashioned ambush, because Wayne Bennett has turned this side around. A side that was fading badly has had perhaps the best half in its short history. And they have their biggest half-time of the lead. It's the Dolphins over the Broncos, 24-6. That tells you a story. Tony Staggs, I think we can assume there his day, his night is done. The groin injury, he's in his dress uniform. So down to 16, the Broncos. The task just gets harder and harder. The most difficult thing to overcome, how tough and powerful these Dolphins have been. Ray Stone playing it for Fusi. The time he was in the sin bin has proven so valuable to the Dolphins in the fact they didn't fold. They basically broke even with the Broncos. And from there, they've really powered on. Fuller. Tough work there, Willison making the tackle with Moser. Very handy first set from the Dolphins. Saylor has to sprint across. And he's closing days here at the Broncos before he heads to the Super League in St Helens.
And did it nicely too, not an easy one there. There's the ball well in front of him, and to travel a fair way to get underneath that. The Dolphins begin their set strong.
Ricky. Fusi told to release, which he does. Taparu. They got here, the Broncos. Can they do what they did to Parramatta last week? This has such a different feeling as Carrigan juggles. Kick from Reynolds, tricky, and in the end, Fuller gets the result, more by luck perhaps than design, but he did well. Oh, and then taken there by Payne Haas as we go down to you. Jake Duke on the sideline.
Plenty to take stock of at half-time. Dolphins coach Wayne Bennett just wants his side to keep fighting, keep consistent, and keep putting the Broncos in pressure positions. He believes they will crack under that pressure. For Broncos coach Kevin Walters, embrace the adversity. They've come from behind in their past two games from double-digit margins. He believes they can do it again. Obviously, it's going to be harder without Tony Staggs now being told it's a right quad injury. He will not return. Brendan Piakura passed his HIA but not feeling well, so he was interchanged as well.
Okay, thank you.
Sean O'Sullivan just hanging onto that ball. It crept up above his shoulder there, but it was Herbie Farnworth after another charge, almost breaking the Broncos line. They get a set restart. This is only play 3.
Yeah, and inside the 20 goes Felice Fusi. O'Sullivan, Fuller, Hammer, tapping it. Again, a little over-ambitious for Tabuai Fido. It's been called forward and it was knocked on by Bostock anyway.
Both of them have been very difficult. And he's been in a position not even to catch the ball, the Hammer, because of the Brisbane defence all over him there. It was Karapani. He can only get one hand to it, and he's just hoping that he finds Jack Bostock. Both occasions, a chance for Bostock to score, but the Brisbane outside defence just did enough to close things down.
So watching on, Newcastle, they potentially the big winners out of this as well, because if this result holds, they have their destiny in their own hands. And for Dolphins to move into the 8. Cronulla Warriors coming up after this. There's a run from Jensen. Moser. Reynolds. Just had numbers in each tackle, it seems, the Dolphins. The commitment has been eye-catching. Reynolds getting it on for Rogers. They know he likes to run. Fusi holds on the whole way. line here. Ricky coming through. Now, no accidental offside there because of Ricky's involvement as Bostock wafts across field and is taken down by Willison, but it's Dolphins ball.
Well, someone was going to get the bounce there, and it was the Dolphins. Ricocheting off a couple. Jack Bostock coming up with the ball.
You play a pinball machine and you get bounces like that, you lose that dollar very quickly. Now it's Kaufusi. Textbook stuff here from the Dolphins. Apart from the extravagant moments from Tabuai Fido, a very disciplined performance. Now this kick is tricky. Oh, the hammer goes up and he just couldn't quite haul it in. Oh, he was close.
He was close. The ball was just too high. The bounce was too good for him. It sat up. Certainly not in favour of Tristan Saylor. He was hoping it kicked on, but a couple of times now, Sean O'Sullivan's been able to find some space in behind the defensive line and short of Tristan Saylor. Once he got a hand to it and didn't recover, it was always going to be a knock on. But
Angle seemed to show he wasn't trying to haul it in. He was trying to tap it to Lemuelu. What a try assist that would have been. No change to the halftime score. Cobber. This is where Brisbane really could use their match winners like Mann and Walsh and Staggs now out of proceedings. Ability to put points on in a hurry. Now comes out here to Saylor. To the line he goes. Ricky leaves it behind him. That's a dreadful error. Dolphins ball 35 metres out.
the error rate is not that bad from the Broncos. That's only... They've got through 17 of their 20 sets, but the errors just seem to be at the worst place and the worst time, and they haven't been able to defend them. Jordan Ricky's dropped a couple of balls. We'll see what the Dolphins do off the back of this set. He wouldn't be able to believe what's happening out there. It's not good. It's not good for any of them in the box there.
Encouragement is little at the moment. Little to come by. Dolphins here. Something brewing. Kaufusi, the decoy, comes to Amarillo. Rogers to bite in on that, but Rogers had cover from Willison and Moser. Dolphins with a good chance here to add to their already impressive lead. Stone. Happy to work and into the 20. The danger men are on the left, and that's where it goes on. Fuller rides a heavy bump from Ricky. Tough, Trey Fuller. Farnworth's on the right.
That hurt.
But Fuller is struggling. Kenny Bromwich. And this will be the last now. From centre field, it comes across O'Sullivan to Amarillo. Subtle, Farnworth, powerful, yes! Herbie's in! Herbie is hammering his former club. This is a special performance from Herbie Farnworth. He didn't play for the Dolphins in the Battle of Brisbane in round number 6, but he's here tonight and he is putting on some performance.
And once again, cutting back on the inside. That is an incredible try from Herbie Farnworth, who, well, he just might be the best player on the field so far tonight. But when you look at it and when you break it down, it was telegraphed. Everyone could see that Herbie was coming back on the inside, but the Brisbane defence just did not react at all. There was enough Brisbane jerseys there to stop Herbie Farnworth. Did he go through untouched? Did anyone even touch him? Because that is a miserable try when you're talking from Brisbane's perspective. The Broncos must be in shock. The box must be in shock. That's great stuff from the Dolphins, but that's as bad as it gets from the Brisbane Broncos there. Every one of the 50,000 here could see that Herbie Farnworth was going to cut back on the inside, but there was no reaction from the Brisbane defenders.
Well, Wayne Bennett just knows which buttons to press because he savaged Herbie early in the season. He said he had a few moments and a few shocking games that weren't to his standard. but his last few weeks he's been getting better each and every week. Well, he's been at full throttle tonight, and the Dolphins lead 30-6.
Herbie Farnworth moved from England to the Broncos when he was 15 years old. He was one of the Dolphins' marquee signings after taking Brisbane to a grand final last year, and now he scores a try that could potentially end the Broncos season in 2024. As you mentioned, Dan, he had a bit of an injury-interrupted start of the season, some dips in form, a couple of sprays from Wayne Bennett, but this was what he was brought here to do, to perform in big games, and he scores a very important try. It's a long way back for the Broncos now.
That replay showing, thank you, Jake. Lovely touch from Averillo. Just his little bits of subtlety have been quite important in the 5/8 role.
Well, it's been a good combination between Averillo and Herbie Farnworth tonight on that right-hand side. Both been involved in plenty of good things that the Dolphins have done so far.
Well, now the Dolphins can just bury the Broncos in these last 30 minutes. Payne Haas. 9 runs, just 49 metres. They have mauled Payne Haas. You cannot say that often, that an opposition has nullified Payne Haas. Now, he is playing through injury, and you have to wonder just how close or how far from 100% he really is as Plath goes upfield. Kaufusi, they look in no mood to stop here, the Dolphins. They're enjoying themselves. Sullivan. Karapani, not the most convincing take, but it'll do. Excellent line of Dolphins jerseys there.
Started to lift their race down, but it's thought better of it. Him and Max Platt then just straightening Karapani up.
Dolphins last week against Melbourne missed 56 tackles. They've missed 17 so far. Chalk and cheese. Penalty though, handy for the team that needs to get a move on. Sharks Warriors, of course, coming up. Sharks looking to lock in their position. They're certainly in the 4, but just where will they play that first final?
Well, the Warriors got something special in Sean Johnson's last game.
Somewhat of an irony, perhaps, that he plays his last game against a former club. It can't be at home. It's a pretty good place for the curtain to come down on Sean Johnson's career. Had some excellent moments at the Sharks. Broncos near the 20. Reynolds to the line. Sailor, floater. Oh, the pass. It was almost bang on point, but through the hands of Karapani it goes. It cut out 3 defenders.
I thought it was a good pass. Looked good. It looked good, Karapani. It was a tough one, but it was there to be taken. Reynolds just holding things up, and yeah, probably got to him hard. It might be being a bit tough on Karapani there.
Yeah. Bostock seemed to have Karapani covered anyway. Pangai Jr. Almost taking out 2 cameramen. Would have been a grade 1. Careless. Marshall King. And you can't let this man run. He hits himself about 15 metres. Farnworth. He's been a Leviathan tonight. Now comes across. O'Sullivan. Fuller holding it up. WI Fido. Line ball pass. It's Bostock and he loses it. And we've got a penalty. We've got a flag taken out in back play. The hammer is down. In fact, a high tackle. So we've got the hammer down. We've got a high tackle.
He tried to get his arms free to pass the ball back inside, but Tristan Sailor...
He'll actually go to him as well.
I think it was Sailor that made the tackle. After the work from Fuller, he did well, right? Hammer, I thought that pass might have been forward. He skips out of the tackle of Karapani. Bostock tries to throw it back in, and Sailor.
Oh, he's been called out. Sailor's been called out. No, just report. Just a report.
Well, that's all that was required.
Yeah.
A penalty, sufficient.
And you saw in that replay nothing wrong with how Tabuai Fido went down, but he's okay. Another chance for the Dolphins. But they've only had the same amount of ball in the 20 as Brisbane have had. Marshall King. Oh, look at it, almost open up here. Max Platt within a couple of metres. Left side is deep. Crash play. Pangai driving. No. 4 defenders and a goalpost getting in Pangai Jr.'s way. O'Sullivan turning it in. Avarillo taking them again to within a couple of metres. Marshall King, Pangai Jr., they try again. And again, they've got him. Well, they've got that play cut for the Broncos. 1 tackle left. O'Sullivan doesn't fall. Pat Carrigan, and then he's slammed to the ground. O'Sullivan clutching at the head. Carrigan doesn't want to hear any of it.
Well, in the end, there was no panic from the Dolphins, but they didn't offer much, did they? Really just kept it in around the play, the ball there. Didn't really stretch the Broncos defensively.
So just the 1 try in the second half. We've got tries to Farnworth, Tabuai, Fido, Izako, a double for Avarillo, and now a Broncos error. And Jordan Ricky is having a tough night.
He is, isn't he? He seems to be surrounded by a lot of things that are going wrong for the Broncos. A couple of drop balls. Decided to plant the ball, which makes it tough. Kaufusi getting a, he either could have been penalised. He could have penalised Kaufusi for climbing all over him, but the fact that he put the ball on the ground left him open and vulnerable. Jordan Ricky, and the ball again going the Dolphins' way.
Yeah. We all understand the onus is on the man planning it, but if Kaufusi's penalised, no one says boo.
That's right.
4 on the left, 2 on the right. Farnworth, that's where it goes. Herbie dragging them with him. Dragging them with him over the 10. What a powerhouse, Herbie Farnworth. And penalty. So nothing really of note to come out of that. I'll just walk it back to the 10 and tap here. So a few Dolphins get a well-earned drink. Pangai Jr. You're going to see him try and crash through again. Not here, just a setup play. 30-6. They'll play the ball. Platt. Lining up, though, the Dolphins. They all want a piece of it. It comes to O'Sullivan. Here's Hamiso Tabuai Fido. Ducked under the high tackle. It's gone. Hamiso Tabuai Fido is in again. So elusive. So brilliant. So exciting. The Hammer will get this lead approaching 30.
Well, he cut back on the inside, ricocheted off a couple of Brisbane defenders who, again, just didn't put their bodies on the line. You can't do that against Hamiso. What a great athlete he is. They've spent enough time down here to come up with a try. Last set was pretty dour from the Dolphins, but at 30-6, they can afford to be. They can afford to just hang on to the ball and just, through sheer weight of possession down this end of the field, and not putting their bodies on the line. Great stuff from Sean O'Sullivan. The footwork back on the inside, going hard to the right. Takura goes high, ricochets off Billy Walters. 34-6, Dan.
And you get the sense a lot more could be on the way if the Dolphins maintain their concentration. This could be somewhat historic, the margin they produce here. But they're now looking ahead to next Sunday. They have got a virtual playoff, it seems, for the finals against Newcastle to look forward to. Because they're...
Well, the Dragons have just opened the door, haven't they? It was all in the Dragons' hands. If they were able to win 2 games, bang, that's it. Doesn't matter what happens below them.
I'm sure people on their browsers or wherever they get their scores saw the Dragons scored 40 and went, what? They lost 40? Dolphins 36-6.
A 50th career try for the Hammer as this crowd here at Suncorp Stadium, 50,049. A lot of them Dolphins fans here to see the Battle of Brisbane, and they've been treated to a show by the Dolphins, who have put themselves back in the top 8 and in finals contention. And of course, we are not done on Super Saturday. Don't forget, we've got the Warriors taking on the Sharks up next. We farewell a legend in Sean Johnson, inspired a generation of Kiwi players to play rugby league, and he says goodbye to the game tonight.
Indeed. Also, it'd be fascinating. The Sharks have been burying teams of late, going under the radar. And now, Haas went up there and collected Farnworth. But nothing is working now for the Broncos. The biggest loss they've ever had to a Queensland team. So that is North Queensland. That is all the incarnations of Gold Coast. That's now the Dolphins. 36-4. That was to the Cowboys here, 2006. They're knocking on the door of getting a record. In that regard, the Dolphins. South Queensland Crushers, got to throw them in as well. Now the little banana kick from Trey Fuller. Sailor took it with confidence. Sailor almost breaks away. Sailor does well, but Rogers is met by 3 Dolphins defenders. They're in such a rampant mood. Broncos not done, but it has a funereal feel about it, what we're seeing. They've got Melbourne on Thursday. Pangai took a tumble. Takura was hit hard. Ben Takura, 205 centimetres. As it's played by Jensen. Here's Haas. That's a great run from Haas. Reynolds puts it up. Bostock coming forward. The Sharks, Tabuai Fido takes it very nicely.
How good have the outside backs been for the Dolphins? All of Sarko scoring tries. Herbie Farnworth, the hammer, a couple of tries. Jermaine Asako, brilliant. The back 5 have been outstanding.
Ray Stone, contributor once again, and comes off. Hubner started the game in the virtual 13 role. Hasn't put a foot wrong. Every move Wayne Bennett made has paid off.
Last one on the mark.
Here's the high one from O'Sullivan. Avarillo. Excellent catch, Sailor. But now he can't get to the ground. And Hubner, with a mean look in his face, dragging Sailor back inside his 10. Forward here by Sailor. Broncos all bunched up. They've really not been in this from the get-go. Willison, dangerous, running wide, offloading. Walters. Avarillo was up there to cut off the potential offload.
Midway through the second half, that's only the 6th play the ball they've had in Dolphins territory as Adam Reynolds throws up a spiral bomb that Fuller handles beautifully.
Sizes it up, gets around Carrigan, then gets the pass. Bostock loses it. Tabuai Fido, knocked back. Dolphins ball. Now Bostock with a more conventional play. Zako, boy, so much has happened since he scored the first try of the night. Marshall King on the Pangai, shrugging off Carrigan and laughing along the way. Oh, he's letting him know about it. Just his 8th game as a Dolphin, Tavita Pangai. Kick here from outside the 40. From O'Sullivan. He was hit hard by Haas, but no problem there. Arapani has tried hard, brings it back. Brisbane's 1 try was scored by Pat Carrigan, a little pushover, barge over. Certainly, apart from the offload game, the Dolphins' defence has really been trouble. Arthurs playing it for Walters. Rogers. Well, whatever the plan was, it did not go according to that plan. Dolphins ball near halfway.
Can you believe that with a final spot on the line, this is what we're getting from the Brisbane Broncos? I know they're missing some players. I know they are, but at the moment they've missed 40 tackles. Well, 39, getting up to 40.
What is especially confounding, if this happened after the Gold Coast game, it would make sense. But what they did to the Cowboys, and then the win against Parramatta, where, all right, they started slowly.
Yeah, but they trailed 16-0 and came back.
That's right.
Back to win the game.
There's the Dolphins in the 8. It is baffling. Some of the things that have happened. For the second year in a row, it appears the grand finalists are going to miss the finals. They're not cooked yet, the Broncos, but it would have to be some turnaround. So the Broncos have won the first 3 of these battles. The Dolphins are going to get their first taste of victory. And boy, that taste will be sweet as it comes across to Lemuelu. Marshall King. Now getting it on to Platt. Pengo Jr. Ball play. Then it comes out. And look at the space as Zarko stumbles his way and he's short. His footing has cost him a try. Oh, he was home. He was certain.
Play the ball short.
But he is caught just millimetres short.
Great hands from Herbie Farnworth out to Jermaine Asako. That's just lost his footing. Very hard to stop if he doesn't. Even though Tristan Saylor and Cobbo were there, if he stays upright, able to take a miracle tackle from both of them.
Well, he's already got 16 points tonight, Jermaine Asako. 6 from 6 with the boot.
Puts him on 221.
It's pretty close. Yeah, Val Holmes is up there. I thought Asako might have done his dash last week when they only scored the 1 try against Melbourne. They can now barely get through a set without making an error, the desperate Broncos. Nothing has worked tonight. Not due to the lack of efforts of that man. He has given it everything, Tristan Saylor. One of the real shining lights the last couple of games.
Very good last week against the Eels in their comeback win. But been a bit on his own tonight.
So 15 minutes to go. Prime field position for the Dolphins. They've got 2 tries in this second half. Fuller on the right this time. Tidy work, Cobbo. We haven't seen much of Cobbo with ball in hand. He's been made to do a lot of defending and he's lying on his back, clutching it at his head. Release Korfusi. Cobbo's still struggling. They're down a defender, the Broncos. They're shot on the right, but Marshall King just can't get it out there. The defender's on his outside, rushed up. Cobbo back on his line now. But he doesn't look right. O'Sullivan, Avarillo, Tabuai-Fidow. Reynolds and Ricky covered him well that time. Pengo Jr. He is so determined to crash through and score 1. Might be worth it for the try celebration. O'Sullivan on. Avarillo, that's been played at. That's a live ball. And that's 6 again.
6 again.
Hubner. Skipped by Saylor. Inside the 10 again. Now it's O'Sullivan. Beautiful hands. Farnworth again. It's Herbie's night, and it just gets better and better. Herbie has a double. Dolphins have 40.
What a night it has been for the outside backs. The Dolphins outside backs. It has been a knockout win in their battle against the back five from the Broncos. Herbie Farnworth with 2 tries now. Asako with 2 tries. The Hammer with 2 tries. Jake Avarillo. They've all scored multiple tries. And Herbie Farnworth certainly deserves that one.
Well, this is a very special performance. We've seen the likes of Katoni Staggs dominate games of late for Brisbane, and Selwyn Cobbo, this contest, he's owned it. A hat-trick at the Gabba and a couple of tries earlier this year. But tonight is Herbie's night. The former Bronco just decimating his former teammates. Such an important game. What a performance. His best in a Dolphins jersey.
Well, it did look like a great matchup with Herbie Farnworth on the right side, Selwyn Cobbo moving to the left with Dean Mariner out, Cobbo at left centre. And it doesn't matter who you match up against who. Any of these Dolphins players have... There's the point scoring list. The most points. Val had a big night.
Sam Walker plays tomorrow. They've got Canberra and they've got South the week after. Don't write Walker off. Azarko has another 12 minutes to add here. So that battle looks like it will go through to the finish. Azarko, multiple winner. 2 times he's been the top point scorer, and not this time. First miss of the night. 40-6. Jake Duke, you've got some news on our upcoming game.
Yeah, breaking news. Nico Hines, he will make his return tonight from that broken leg that has been ruled him out for a number of months now. The Sharks and the Warriors coming up. He will play 5'8" outside of Braden Trindle in jersey number 22. So a positional change for Nico Hines, considering Braden Trindle has done a great job running that side in his absence. So you'll see that one straight after this on Fox League. The Sharks and the Warriors, and the Dolphins looking to wrap this one up. It is still 10 minutes to go, but they are in strong command of this.
I think they can see 50, Jake. Greg Fitzgibbon did flag that Nico, when he came back, he'd just have to concentrate on himself and let Braden run the show. So we'll get a first look at him back in time for the finals. As now it's worked forward here, the Dolphins. A memorable night. A club that is barely 18 months old. And this will be a night that will be celebrated for years. It keeps them in the hunt for the finals. Plath. They're durable. Sullivan. Oh. And Sailor. And that one bounce off him. He looks up and he sees all that red. He's got to get the ground. It's happened again. Sailor can't get the ground. But hang on. It is a penalty against the Dolphins.
When he drops to his knees, his momentum stopped for a second.
So he got his knees on the ground. They tried to hold him up, but he got his knees on the ground. That's when Adam G called held. Ball popped up, hit him in the head. Recovers, and we'll just watch how it. There we
definitely
go. On the knees means that's it.
Isn't that a great indicator of a team's desire, though? And multiple times they drag that player back and almost get them into the end goal. They've been doing that at will tonight, the Dolphins. 40-6. Carrigan. Walters a dummy half. And Jensen just punching it forward. 24-6 at the break. Haas, Rogers, Willison. Haas down and stretching here. I believe that's cramp related, not necessarily injury related. That may be easy for Bostock. Oh, Sailor spectacular, but Bostock comes up with it. The Mexican wave's going up, but it's a wave of joy because, let me tell you, this is a Dolphins crowd. That was made clear when the Broncos were welcomed to a chorus of boos. They'll be the home side, the Broncos, on Thursday. Yeah, they need to beat Melbourne and then hope for just a stunning array of results to go their way. Only Taupau, perhaps his final days as a Bronco, to come back on. Nichols, over 100 metres. Pangai Jr., 130 metres. Outside, inside. Fuller, no. Great work, Jensen and Walters.
Yeah, boy, Jensen had to work hard to make that tackle on Trey Fuller, who's got cramp.
Let's talk Dolphins in the changes that Wayne Bennett has made going forward. They've clearly been miles the better side tonight. But have you liked what you've seen? Avarillo 5'8". Marshall King obviously is a big improvement. O'Sullivan's night's over. He's the halfback. Fuller, the big one at fullback, and Tabuai Fido at number 3.
I think Fuller's offered plenty. And I was excited when I saw Fuller's name in the side as the pass from the Broncos was ruled forward. Because you just knew that he'd add something. And Hamaso Tabuai Fido, for all his brilliance, has been a little bit passive over the last couple of weeks. And they have been hammered.
Yeah.
Like some of the, they've been averaging almost 40 points against them a game in the last month. So I applaud what Wayne's done. I don't know whether Nikorima will be fit and ready to come back next week, Dan. I don't know if you leave Nikorima out of the side. It's worked tonight, and that says more about what Brisbane have offered.
Look at Wayne. He is smiling. He can't help it. He's trying to hide the smile. This is a big win for him over his former club. The dream stays alive. It's rare a Wayne Bennett side misses the finals 2 straight years.
Isaiah Katoa on the field. Now, Gostop's having all sorts of problems feeding the scrum. The winger putting the ball in.
The differential.
They get the penalty.
The differential off a winger feeding the ball into a scrum. All right, ball put into touch.
So it will be very interesting to see what Wayne does with Katoa and Nikorima. Nikorima will be fit for the Newcastle game next week.
And he's been close to their best all season. Mark Nichols to the 10-metre line. All of a sudden, these are good problems for Wayne Bennett to have. Where to put the players in form. Max Platt, out it goes Katoa. Turning it in, Hubner. 10th run for Rocky Hubner. Now comes across here, and Nichols leaves behind him, and Plath is going to be denied. Plath is going to be denied. All the knock on.
Shot clock on.
Even though his body was turned, that made it look like it was a knockback. He dragged it forward, and that's exactly what Adam G has said.
So Sharks Warriors coming up next. I know we've got plenty of football to come. We've got tomorrow's games and then the lead up, but to next week. And there it is, River Fire. It's been a big night here at Suncorp. Now the fireworks show outside takes centre stage. We still have some unfinished business here. But next Sunday is one of the all-time great Super Sundays. We call it Super Saturday. It's a Super Sunday, the Sunday ticket. It'll be Manly at home, playing for a home final against Cronulla, trying to lock in whatever position they can get in the top 4. And then what is shaping as sudden death, Knights, Dolphins, McDonald Jones Stadium, the last game of the regular season. They could not have planned it any better. Knights tomorrow against Gold Coast, 2 p.m. Exclusive and live, of course, here on Fox League. Broncos with the ball. Haas. Reynolds sends it high. Fuller. Gets away here from Ricky. Gets away from Rogers. Oh, a big tackle from Reynolds. Boy, wouldn't that have been the exclamation mark?
Well, there was a couple of tackle busts in that run. That's 11 for the night. Actually, it's 13 for the night. It's 13 tackle busts to Trey Fuller.
Now it's Avarillo getting it on to Herbie. Has he got another big moment in him? Cobbo holds on. Martella. Looking up with Tabuai Fido. The defenders followed him. But 2 tries for Hamiso Tabuai Fido. Marshall King, great to see him back. He's had a terrible run of luck with injury. Now it opens up for Farnworth. He's on the outside of Cobbo. And the extravagant pass put down by Azarko. Now Cobbo can't break away.
Well, that would have been spectacular if they were able to pull that off. Herbie Farnworth again, a threat down that right touchline. Just getting the pass wrong with Jermaine Azarko. Flick pass, they're not ready for it.
Now another error. It will be challenged.
Ash, coming into 1. Broncos challenge on field ruling, knock on.
Only through 23 sets tonight for the Broncos. Very little ball in the second half. No field position either. They just haven't been able to handle the pace that the Dolphins have played.
Max Platt makes a kick at the ball with intent. This is ruck interference. The challenge is successful.
Good challenge. Good challenge, good call.
So it will be their ball with 3 minutes and 8 seconds to go. Jensen comes off. Now it comes across here to Marty Tapau. I hope Neil Diamond gets royalties. 28 metres away. Sailor continuing to try. Carrigan across field. Walters. Willison. Tapau. Broncos have hardly looked like scoring for much of this game as it comes from Moser to Haas. Haas. It's the big motor going. Still captured 5 away. Last tackle. Moser. Reynolds. The tap from Sailor. Put down. And it just has not been Jordan Ricky's night. Another ball goes to ground. It went backwards, but it's a changeover.
Yeah, no, it has not been his night. Well, it just hasn't been the Broncos' night. Yeah. You can't always tell how a game starts, which team is going to come out top. But I think tonight, when you saw the Dolphins in the opening 10 minutes, even 5, I thought there was an indication there that the Dolphins were going to be the best side on the night, and that's certainly how it's turned out. They were ready for it. They were ready, and Brisbane weren't.
Chance for the finals. Some comes to Nichols. With a minute to go. We've had some great days already, this young NRL club. Toa with a run. It all started here with a stunning win over the Roosters on a Sunday afternoon. And some great wins early in both seasons. But this tops them all. To bury the Broncos, to win the Battle of Brisbane, and to keep their season alive.
It has been a super performance from them, Dan. There's no question about that. They have won every facet of the game here at Suncorp Stadium in front of their home crowd. Big crowd, big game, and they delivered.
Now Sailor trying to get a final moment. Oh, he does well, but he can't haul it in. And Fuller in no hurry to play it. It has been a Dolphin domination. Redcliffe has run rampant. The Battle of Brisbane belongs to the team from the Peninsula. It's the Dolphins' night, and they're still alive in 2024. utter devastation for Kevin Walters. But tonight belongs to those men in red as the Dolphins take one step closer to a maiden finals appearance. Full time at Suncorp Stadium. It's the Dolphins, huge winners over the Broncos, 40-6.